Welcome to the Wisdom Tribe. If you are listening to this right now, it is not by coincidence. It is by divine appointment. You have been drawn here by the Spirit of God Himself because this message carries something that belongs uniquely to you. You are not here by accident. You are here because heaven has already stamped you as chosen, set apart, and destined for greatness. Child of God, hear this clearly. God is moving in ways that go beyond what your mind can imagine. He is releasing resources, divine opportunities, and blessings into your life that you didn't even know to ask for. While you were faithfully praying, trusting, and walking in obedience, God was strategically arranging things in the unseen realm. Connections, favor, and provision that are perfectly timed for your life. Today He is saying, I am about to do abundantly more than you expected, and it will arrive faster than you anticipated. Prepare your heart to receive what I have already prepared for you. This is not just a promise, it is a divine declaration over your life. Stay ready, stay faithful, and watch as God turns your quiet obedience into unstoppable elevation. Before we go any further, if your spirit is connecting with this message, type 7 in the comments right now. That number isn't random, it represents divine completion, the signal that God is releasing resources, blessings, and opportunities into your life that you didn't even pray for. When you type it, you're declaring in faith that you are aligned, chosen, and ready to receive what heaven has already prepared for you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom Tribe, and make sure you watch this video all the way to the end, because God is about to release unseen provision and resources in ways that will exceed your expectations. Rewatch this message as many times as your spirit leads you, because each time another layer of divine truth and blessing will unfold. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Faithfulness in the little things. Child of God, everything you have done in faith, even the smallest acts of obedience, has been carefully recorded in heaven. Every moment you chose integrity over compromise, every time you gave without expecting in return, every act of kindness, every prayer, every sacrifice, none of it has been wasted. Your consistency, your patience, your willingness to do what is right even when unseen, these are the seeds that are now ripening into a harvest far greater than you imagined. God honors faithfulness, and often the blessings He releases go beyond what your mind can conceive, because your heart was prepared, even when your hands seemed empty. What you sowed in secret is now becoming public reward. The small, faithful steps you took, the quiet prayers you whispered, the moments you persevered when no one was watching, these have all built a foundation for supernatural increase. Child of God, what seems ordinary to you has been extraordinary in the eyes of heaven, and now it is ready to overflow into your life in ways you never expected. Faithfulness in the little things demonstrates your trust in God. It shows that you believe in His promises even when the results are delayed. Every act of obedience, no matter how small, creates a ripple effect in the spiritual realm. The doors you prayed for, the opportunities you longed for, and the breakthroughs you hoped for, they are being unlocked not because of your effort alone, but because your heart has been aligned with God's timing and His purpose. Child of God, this is the moment when your faithfulness will be rewarded with acceleration. Blessings will not only come, they will come in unexpected ways, faster and greater than you imagined. God is taking what you faithfully planted in secret and multiplying it beyond measure. Your consistency, your patience, and your diligence in the little things have positioned you for the extraordinary. Now watch as heaven honors every faithful step you have taken, turning them into divine increase, favor, and abundance that you didn't even pray for. The unseen work you've done in quiet obedience is about to manifest publicly. Every small act of faith, every moment you persevered in unseen trials, every time you chose God's way over the world's way. These are the bricks that are building your new season. The blessings coming your way will not only satisfy your needs, but will also establish you as a testament of God's faithfulness. Child of God, your faithfulness in the little things is now the key that unlocks abundance, breakthrough, and divine provision on a scale you never imagined. But hear this, chosen one, heaven is not just rewarding your past obedience. It is preparing to launch you into a season where faithfulness in the smallest acts continues to compound. The quiet prayers you've whispered, the unseen sacrifices you've made, the patience you've exercised in trials, these are not overlooked. They are accumulating spiritual weight, and when the timing is right, the multiplication will be so rapid, so overwhelming, that your heart will marvel at the wisdom of staying faithful even when it seemed insignificant. The Lord is saying, I have seen every tear, every moment of patience, every act of obedience you performed in secret. I have recorded it, and now I am releasing a harvest that surpasses your understanding. What you sowed in little, I will return to you in abundance. Child of God, this is your divine season. The blessings you thought were delayed are simply waiting for the perfect alignment. Keep walking in integrity, keep sowing faithfully, and keep trusting that God sees what no one else sees. Your faithfulness is your promotion, your multiplier, and your key to accessing resources, opportunities, and favor you didn't even ask for. Your journey has prepared you for this moment. Every trial, every test, every situation where you were overlooked, ignored, or underestimated, these have all been building your capacity to receive what heaven is sending. The God who honors small beginnings is now orchestrating monumental endings. The faithfulness you displayed in the little things is about to translate into miracles, provision, and blessings that will astonish everyone around you. Chapter 2. God's resources are limitless. Child of God, unlike human resources, God's supply is infinite and unending. He is not restricted by your circumstances, the economy, or the limitations that the natural world seems to impose. What the world labels as scarcity, God sees as abundance, abundance that is waiting to manifest in your life at exactly the right time. Every limitation you have faced, every closed door, every no from the world has only set the stage for God's supernatural provision to arrive in ways that surpass human understanding. Even if you haven't prayed specifically for certain doors, connections, or financial provisions, God already knows what you need to thrive. He sees the bigger picture that your mind cannot comprehend. He has been orchestrating divine encounters, opening unseen pathways, and aligning opportunities that you never considered or imagined. This is why some blessings appear to arrive suddenly or unexpectedly. They were never missed. They were simply timed by God's perfect wisdom. The resources of heaven are limitless. They are not dependent on your effort alone, your networking skills, or your ability to convince others. God is not limited by what you see or what you think is possible. He moves in ways that defy logic, providing solutions and abundance from directions you never anticipated. The divine supply He is releasing for you is more than just material. It includes favor, wisdom, divine connections, creativity, peace, and every spiritual and natural resource required to fulfill your destiny. Child of God, understand this. The blessings that are coming are not just to meet your needs. They are designed to elevate you, to expand your influence, and to confirm that heaven is intimately involved in your journey. God's resources are limitless, and He is intentional in how He releases them. You don't need to figure out how it will come together or stress over the timing. Your role is to remain faithful, obedient, and expectant, because God is already moving behind the scenes to provide everything necessary for your success. The same God who parted the Red Sea, fed thousands with a few loaves and fish, and multiplied the widow's oil is the same God who is arranging your provision today. Nothing is too small or too large for His power. Your resources may come from unexpected places, an opportunity, a divine person, a creative idea, a sudden insight, or a financial breakthrough. What you see as coincidence, God sees as carefully planned provision tailored to your exact need. Child of God, trust that heaven is releasing these resources in perfect alignment with your life. They are not delayed. They are strategically timed. Some things you didn't even know to ask for are already on the way, moving faster than your understanding and arriving in ways that will astonish you. God's limitless resources are a reminder that your dependence should be on Him alone, because He is able to provide abundantly, exceed your expectations, and elevate you into a season of overflowing provision, favor, and divine opportunity. Prepare your heart to receive with gratitude. Open your hands, release fear and doubt, and step into the reality that God's supply is not limited by human understanding. Expect it, believe it, and watch as the impossible becomes possible. Your faith in His limitless resources will now align with His supernatural timing, unleashing blessings that you didn't even know you needed but will transform your life beyond measure. Chapter 3. Blessings from Unexpected Directions. Child of God, the resources and blessings God is releasing into your life often come from directions you could never have anticipated. Sometimes it is a phone call from someone you barely know but who holds the key to a breakthrough. Sometimes it is a sudden promotion, a financial increase, or a divine opportunity that appears as if out of nowhere. Other times it may arrive through people who unexpectedly step into your life with the wisdom, favor, or provision you desperately needed. These are not coincidences. They are divine appointments carefully orchestrated by God. Even doors you thought were closed may suddenly open, revealing pathways you never considered. Opportunities may arise in places where you felt abandoned, overlooked, or forgotten. God's timing and methods are perfect, and His ways are higher than ours. What seems unusual, unlikely, or impossible is often the very way God chooses to show His creativity and power. The blessings that come from unexpected directions are meant to remind you that your provision does not depend on predictable paths or human understanding. It depends entirely on the God who sees the bigger picture. Child of God, sometimes these blessings arrive in forms you didn't ask for, or in ways that defy natural logic. A stranger's words may spark an idea that changes your financial future. A delay that seemed frustrating may turn into a blessing in disguise, redirecting you to something far better than what you imagined. These moments are designed to teach you trust, patience, and reliance on God's supernatural orchestration. The key, chosen one, is to remain spiritually alert and open to God's movement. Do not limit Him to your plans or your understanding. Watch for divine signals, unexpected encounters, and sudden openings. These are the very channels through which heaven releases resources, turning what you considered ordinary into extraordinary breakthroughs. And sometimes these unexpected blessings are not just about material provision. They are about spiritual elevation, wisdom, and divine insight. A conversation, a chance encounter, or a new connection can bring clarity, open doors, and equip you for the next season of your life. God is releasing not only what you need, but also what will prepare you to walk in the fullness of your calling. Your breakthrough, your increase, and your elevation may arrive from places and people you never imagined. But when it does, it will confirm that God is intimately involved in your life, providing exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. Prepare to recognize it, receive it, and steward it well, because blessings from unexpected directions are God's way of reminding you that His power, creativity, and care for you have no limits. Moreover, chosen one, be aware that God often uses what appears to be setbacks, detours, or delays to orchestrate these blessings. A missed opportunity, a closed door, or an unexpected change may seem disappointing at the moment, but these are often divine redirections towards something far greater than you could have planned. God's wisdom surpasses human understanding, and He is always at work behind the scenes. What seems like a delay is often a divine timing adjustment to align circumstances perfectly. Remain expectant, because the blessings coming from unexpected directions are tailored specifically to your life. They are strategic, they are intentional, and they are meant to elevate you in ways that will leave a lasting impact. Stay prayerful, stay grateful, and remain faithful. God is moving in ways you cannot yet see, and He is orchestrating your breakthrough from directions you would never anticipate. The call now is to trust the process, stay patient, and keep your heart open. Every encounter, every sign, every message that crosses your path could be part of the divine flow prepared for you. Recognize it, receive it, and walk boldly into it, for God's timing and His methods are perfect, and His blessings always exceed what we could ask or imagine. Chapter 4. Alignment with Divine Purpose. Child of God, it is vital to understand that God's resources are never random, accidental, or coincidental. Everything He releases into your life is strategically aligned with your divine purpose. What you receive is not just for your comfort or temporary satisfaction. It is meant to prepare you, equip you, and position you to fulfill the assignment God has placed on your life. The same blessings that surprise you are often the very tools that will elevate your influence, expand your impact, and open doors for others around you. Sometimes these resources arrive in ways that seem unusual, unplanned, or even confusing at first. A sudden opportunity, a new connection, or a financial increase might not fit your immediate expectations. But when viewed through the lens of God's purpose, everything makes perfect sense. Heaven operates with precision. The resources that come your way are tailored to your calling. They are part of a larger divine strategy designed to maximize your potential and ensure that your life impacts the kingdom in ways beyond your imagination. Child of God, alignment is everything. You can receive, but if your heart, your mind, and your actions are not in agreement with God's will, those resources may not produce the intended results. That is why He often teaches patience, obedience, and faith, so that when the blessings come, they are received with readiness, humility, and wisdom. Your alignment ensures that every unexpected provision will flow directly into the purposes He has ordained for you. Furthermore, God's blessings are not only for personal gain, they are kingdom-minded. The favor, finances, opportunities, and connections He releases are designed to equip you to bless others. Your breakthrough will not only change your life, it will be a beacon of hope, a testimony of God's faithfulness, and a channel through which others can experience elevation. What you did not even ask for may become the very means by which God accomplishes His plan on earth. The resources you receive in alignment with your purpose will amplify your voice, strengthen your ministry, and expand your reach. They will provide the freedom to serve, the wisdom to lead, and the influence to inspire. God's economy is not measured by scarcity. It is measured by strategy, intention, and eternal impact. Every blessing, every opportunity, every provision is being deployed with divine precision to match the calling He placed within you. Child of God, your responsibility is to remain faithful, obedient, and sensitive to the Spirit. Seek clarity, discernment, and alignment in all that you do. When your heart is fully tuned to God's purpose, the resources He sends will multiply, accelerate, and position you for even greater assignments. What you didn't pray for will arrive, but it will perfectly fit the work God has called you to do. Remember, chosen one, these blessings are not just for survival, they are for expansion. They are not just for comfort, they are for commissioning. They are not just for today, they are for eternity. The alignment between God's resources and your purpose ensures that you are stepping into a season where everything that arrives, even unexpectedly, will contribute to the fulfillment of your divine destiny. And child of God, do not underestimate the power of timing in alignment. The blessings that arrive may seem sudden, even miraculous, but behind the scenes, God has been orchestrating every detail, your preparation, your prayers, your perseverance, all leading to this perfect alignment. Every door that opens, every opportunity that appears, every connection that is made is no accident. It is the manifestation of God's intentional design for your life. Trust the process. Remain faithful in your small steps and continue to align your heart with His will. The resources that were once delayed or unseen are now moving toward you with precision and speed. They are being released to position you for greatness, to provide for your needs, and to expand the reach of your influence. Every blessing, whether you prayed for it or not, will perfectly synchronize with your purpose, timing, and destiny. Chapter 5. Trust the unseen working, child of God, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Understand that the unseen realm is alive and active on your behalf. God is orchestrating events, opening doors, and arranging resources long before you even recognize the need. Sometimes His work is invisible to the human eye, and His timing feels slow, but every detail is moving with divine precision. The accounts in your favor are being funded in the spiritual realm. Partnerships are being lined up and opportunities are being prepared for the exact moment you are ready to receive them. Faith, patience, and expectation are your keys to navigating this season. Do not allow your eyes to measure progress by what you see in the natural. What seems delayed is not denied. It is being perfected. God's ways are higher than yours, and the unseen is far more powerful than anything you can comprehend. The blessing, the provision, and the breakthrough are already in motion. You are simply in a period of divine gestation where God is ensuring that everything lands in your favor flawlessly. Child of God, the unseen working may look like waiting, silence, or stillness, but it is far from inactivity. Angels are being dispatched, doors are being unlocked, and resources are being strategically aligned for your increase. Every prayer you have whispered, every act of obedience, and every faithful step you've taken is contributing to the momentum of what is coming. What you did not see, what you did not hear, and what you did not understand, all of it has been moving behind the scenes for your good. Do not let doubt creep in. Do not allow impatience to steal your joy. Trust that the invisible hands of heaven are already at work, and that the results will exceed anything you could have orchestrated yourself. Your role is to remain steadfast, continue walking in obedience, and keep your heart aligned with God's purpose. When the time is right, what was unseen will become undeniable. Remember, chosen one, God's timing is perfect. The blessing that seems delayed will arrive suddenly, and it will be more powerful and more abundant than you imagined. The unseen working is your guarantee that every prayer, every seed of faith, and every act of patience will yield a harvest. Your faithfulness in this season will position you to receive not just what you asked for, but everything God has prepared, even what you never prayed to receive. Every late night prayer, every moment of faith, every tear shed in secret, all of it is contributing to a tapestry of blessings that only heaven could weave. What you may have considered as waiting or nothing happening is actually a divine buildup. Your obedience has been accumulating favor, your trust has been storing provision, and your patience has been multiplying opportunities. God is preparing a harvest so vast and so sudden that when it arrives, it will overwhelm the natural understanding of your heart and mind. Child of God, trust the unseen with every fiber of your being. Keep walking in integrity, keep speaking life over your future, and keep sowing seeds of faith. When the timing is right, what has been hidden, delayed, or seemingly absent will manifest in fullness. The resources you didn't even pray for will arrive. The connections you never imagined will be made, and the doors you didn't see will swing open. Heaven is orchestrating it all, and your part is simply to believe, wait, and position yourself for reception. Stay expectant. Stay faithful. Keep your heart and mind aligned with God's word, because the unseen working is more real, more powerful, and more immediate than you think. The blessings are already in motion, and the overflow will confirm that God has been moving on your behalf the entire time. Chapter 6. Receive with gratitude and expectation. Child of God, when the resources, blessings, and provisions arrive, your posture of heart will determine how much more you will receive. Gratitude is the key that unlocks overflow. Some people miss the fullness of God's blessing because they dismiss the small signs, or they receive with doubt instead of faith. But you must understand, Every gift, whether great or small, is a divine message from heaven. It is God's way of saying, I see you, I hear you, I am faithful to my word concerning you. Do not receive what God is sending with skepticism or fear. Do not question whether you deserve it or whether it will last. God does not bless you to tease you. He blesses you to establish you. Every resource He releases carries weight. It is not random, it is purposeful. Some blessings may look small at first, like the cloud Elijah's servant saw rising from the sea. But that small cloud carried a storm of abundance behind it. In the same way, the little signs of provision in your life are prophetic symbols of greater blessings on the horizon. Gratitude magnifies what you receive. When you give thanks for the small provision, heaven prepares bigger provision. When you honor God in the beginning stages, He accelerates the flow. Remember the story of the 5 loaves and 2 fish. It was not enough to feed the multitude until Jesus gave thanks. Gratitude turned the insufficient into the overflowing. Child of God, when your heart is positioned in thanksgiving, you multiply what God places in your hands. Expectation is equally important. Do not just say thank you and stop there. Believe that more is coming. Gratitude acknowledges what God has done, but expectation keeps your spirit open for what He is about to do next. The enemy wants you to doubt, to second guess, to fear that blessings will slip away. But when you stand in faith, you declare that what God has started, He will surely complete. You are not waiting for scraps from heaven's table. You are seated at the table as an heir to the kingdom. Celebrate the small victories because they are divine signals that the floodgates are opening. If you received encouragement today, thank God. If you received unexpected favor, celebrate it. If someone extended kindness, see it as proof that heaven is working. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. Child of God, the way you receive today determines how much you will steward tomorrow. Approach every gift, every opportunity, and every open door with a spirit of humility, reverence, and deep joy. Say to yourself daily, I am blessed, I am favored, I am chosen, and I receive all that heaven is releasing into my life. Let this be your mindset, because what you confess with your mouth and believe in your heart creates alignment with the flow of abundance. Remember this: gratitude is the language of heaven, and expectation is the key of faith. When you combine them, you unlock blessings beyond what you prayed for. The resources are not coming to weigh you down, but to lift you higher. They are not just for your comfort, but for your calling. They are tools, seeds, and confirmations that your purpose is bigger than you ever realized. So, receive with open hands, celebrate with a joyful spirit, stand with expectation for even greater things. For the same God who started releasing blessings into your life is the same God who will continue until His work is complete. Chapter 7. Multiply what God has given. Finally, child of God, it is time to understand one of the most powerful principles of the kingdom: multiplication. Everything God has entrusted to you, no matter how small or great it may look right now, carries the ability to expand, grow, and impact more lives than you could ever imagine. When heaven releases resources, they are never meant to stop with you. You are not the end point. You are the vessel, the distributor, the channel through which God's abundance flows. Think about it. Every resource is a seed. Seeds don't look like much at first. They are small, hidden, and sometimes overlooked. But when planted in faith, watered with gratitude and stewarded with wisdom, they produce a harvest far greater than the original form. God doesn't just want to bless you with enough. He wants to make you a multiplier, a carrier of overflow, someone who creates impact that outlives them. That is why He is pouring resources into your life, not for you to store them in fear, but to release them in faith. The world tells you to hoard, to hold tightly, to keep everything for yourself in case it runs out. But heaven's economy works differently. The more you release, the more you receive. What leaves your hand never leaves your life. It is simply transferred into the soil of eternity, where it grows, matures, and comes back multiplied. Child of God, when you sow your time, talents, and treasures into others, you are writing your future in God's ink. You are aligning yourself with divine multiplication. Look at the widow in the Bible with the small jar of oil. To her it seemed insignificant. To man it looked like not enough. But when placed in God's hands and poured out in obedience, that oil multiplied until every vessel was filled. That is the pattern of God. He multiplies what you dare to release. You may feel like what you have is little, but the little in God's hands is always more than enough. This is why your blessings are not just for personal comfort. They are tools, assignments, and answers to prayers you don't even know others are praying. Sometimes the resource God placed in your hand is the very miracle someone else has been waiting for. And when you release it, not only does their life change, but heaven also opens wider over yours. Every act of obedience, every moment of generosity, every time you choose to use what you've been given for God's glory, you position yourself for another wave of increase. Child of God, this is not the season to play small. It is not the time to hide your gifts, bury your talents, or shrink back in fear. This is your season to walk boldly, to invest wisely, to release generously, and to expect multiplication. The blessings you carry are meant to break barriers, open new doors, and create opportunities not just for you, but for your family, your community, and even generations after you. Remember, stewardship is not just about money. It is about everything: your time, your gifts, your wisdom, your influence, your relationships. How you handle what God has entrusted to you determines how much more He can trust you with. When you prove faithful with the little, heaven releases the much. That is why this chapter of your life is so critical. God is watching to see how you multiply what He has already placed in your hands. And never forget this: when God chooses to pour into you, it is confirmation that He sees you as ready. If resources are arriving, it is because heaven has determined that you are capable of handling more. If blessings are coming, it is because God is preparing you for higher levels of influence, impact, and purpose. The multiplication is not only for your benefit, it is a divine signal that your assignment is expanding and your role in the kingdom is enlarging. So rise up with confidence. Steward what you've been given with wisdom. Sow it with faith. Release it with joy. And watch as God multiplies not only your resources, but also your influence, your reach, your favor, and your legacy. You are stepping into a season where what you carry will multiply so greatly that generations will benefit from your obedience. Child of God, this is your time. Multiply what God has given, and watch Him multiply you.